Hey there and welcome back to AI Explained. Today we're going to do a deep dive into something that's changing the game for businesses and, frankly, for all of us. Um,
Predictive analytics.
that's it, predictive analytics.
It is fascinating.
So to get into it, we're using this Tech Radar article from just a few days ago, December 27th, 2024.
Yeah.
Super fresh.
Yeah.
So let's just start with the basics. What exactly ISMB, predictive analytics? I feel like I keep hearing this term, but I'm not totally sure what it means.
Okay, so think about it this way. Back in the day when we used to look up at the clouds and try to guess if it was going to rain,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, but way more sophisticated. It uses tons of data to spot patterns and make educated guesses about what might happen in the future.
So instead of looking at clouds, we're looking at data.
Exactly. Ilya Smirnov, who leads AI and machine learning at USTech, puts it really well. He says predictive analytics is all about analyzing data to make better decisions in the future based on what's already happened.
That makes a lot of sense. But here's something I found surprising. Apparently, predictive analytics isn't actually new.
Right. It's
I
been
know.
around for a while, particularly think medicine.
Right.
But what's interesting is that it really started taking off in the 1990s. Josh Meyer, senior generative AI author at Pluralsight, he says that the internet and better computers made it possible to collect and analyze just huge amounts of data, which is basically what predictive analytics feeds on.
So all those online quizzes and social media posts are actually fuel for predictive analytics. That's kind of wild.
It is wild. And here's another thing to consider. Predictive analytics is a major step forward from the way businesses used to look at data.
You mean just using spreadsheets and charts to figure out what happened in the past?
Exactly.
Okay.
We call that business intelligence, or BI. It tells you what already happened, but predictive analytics goes further.
Okay.
It uses historical data, algorithms, and machine learning to actually forecast what might happen next.
That's where things start to feel a little bit like magic to me. How does all that actually work?
So it comes down to these things called models. John, the co-founder and CTO of DataChat, he refers to them as models. Imagine them as sets of instructions that help computers find patterns, hidden patterns, in all that data.
So we're basically teaching computers to become data detectives.
You got it.
Oh,
And these
class.
models are trained on past data to recognize trends so they can then make predictions about the future.
This is all starting to sound really powerful.
Yeah.
But I bet our listeners are wondering,
How does this actually affect them?
yeah, what's in it for the average person?
Well, John, the co-founder and CTO of DataChat, he points out some benefits of predictive analytics. For one thing, it can help us make better decisions in all areas of life.
So instead of just winging it, we can actually use data to make smarter choices.
Precisely. And that goes for everything, from what to watch on Netflix to bigger decisions like investments or even healthcare.
Oh, wow.
Another benefit, big benefit, is risk management.
So being able to spot potential problems before they blow up in our faces.
Exactly. Think about things like avoiding scams or catching a health issue early on. It's all about using data to make things safer and more predictable.
That sounds amazing.
Mhm.
But wouldn't that mean collecting a ton of personal data? I mean, doesn't that raise some ethical concerns?
It does, and that's a great point. And it is crucial to ensure that data is collected and used responsibly and transparently with proper safeguards in place. And that's
Yeah.
a really important conversation to have for sure. Back to the benefits you mentioned, healthcare.
Yeah. Could predictive analytics actually improve our health?
Absolutely. John talks about how PA can predict when someone might need medical attention, allowing for preventative care and potentially better outcomes.
That's huge.
It is.
It sounds like it can make healthcare more personalized and proactive.
Exactly. Imagine a world where your doctor already knows what health risks you might face, allowing for early intervention and tailored treatment plans.
That's incredible. Are there any other ways that predictive analytics is already being used to improve things?
Definitely. One example John highlights is how retail giants like Walmart are using it to predict what people are going to buy.
So no more empty shelves
Right?
or sold out items? I'm already sold on this.
It's all about having the right products in stock at the right time in the right place. Predictive analytics helps make the whole system more efficient.
Okay, I have to ask, all this talk about AI and machine learning, where does predictive analytics fit in?
Right. It can be confusing.
A lot of buzzwords.
Yeah. Think of AI as the big umbrella. It's all about creating systems that can learn and solve problems like humans do.
Mm.
Machine learning, or ML, is a subset of AI that focuses on teaching computers to learn from data.
So ML is like the brainy student in the AI classroom.
Exactly. And predictive analytics is like using that brainy student skills to make educated guesses about the future.
So PA is basically the fortune teller who uses ML's knowledge to make predictions.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, this is all starting to make a lot more sense now. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's hear some final thoughts from the experts. What are some of the key takeaways so far?
Well, Arun Kumar Thirunagalingham, the manager of enterprise data management at Santander Consumer USA, he emphasizes how predictive analytics can help businesses streamline operations, reduce costs, and create happy customers.
It sounds like businesses are already seeing real benefits from using PA.
Absolutely. And Kavi Vadat, founder and president of RiseUp, he shares how PA is changing the game in marketing and gaming.
So more personalized recommendations and more engaging games. Sign me up.
It's all about anticipating needs and creating experiences that are tailored to individual preferences.
I'm already seeing how this could change everything. But before we dive deeper, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll explore even more fascinating applications of predictive analytics.
Yeah, stay tuned. So we've been exploring predictive analytics, and I think, now we can delve into some really interesting examples of how it's being used.
Yeah. We talked about personalized shopping and entertainment, but I'm kind of curious to know if it goes beyond that.
Absolutely. John from Data Chat highlights some fantastic examples. So let's start with finance. Predictive analytics is already playing a big role in detecting fraud and assessing loan risks more accurately.
So it's helping banks protect our money and make smarter decisions.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting us from losses, it's also about making the financial system more efficient and accessible.
That makes a lot of sense. What other industries are using PA in innovative ways?
Well, another great example is healthcare. We touched on this earlier, but John really dives into the specifics in the article. Predictive models can actually help identify patients who might be at risk for certain conditions, allowing for early intervention and potentially life-saving treatments.
That sounds amazing.
Hmm.
But how accurate are these predictions? I mean, predicting someone's health seems pretty complex.
Okay. It is a good question. While no prediction is 100% guaranteed, these models are becoming increasingly sophisticated. They can analyze a wide range of factors, including genetic predispositions, lifestyle choices, and environmental factors to assess potential health risks.
So it's like having a personalized health forecast that can help guide preventative care.
Exactly. And it's not just for individuals. John also mentions how hospitals are using PA to predict patient admissions, optimize staffing levels, and even allocate resources more efficiently.
So it's not just about improving individual health, but also about making the entire healthcare system run smoother.
Precisely. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. John also highlighted how PA is being used to tackle larger-scale problems like climate change.
Now that's something I'm really curious about. How can PA help with something as massive as climate change?
Well, think about all the data we collect about the environment, weather patterns, deforestation rates, pollution levels, and so on. Predictive models can analyze all that data to help us understand how climate change is impacting different regions and ecosystems.
So it's like having a global checkup for the planet.
Exactly. And beyond just understanding the problem, PA can also help us predict future climate trends, allowing us to develop more effective strategies for mitigation and adaptation.
Wow. It sounds like PA is becoming an essential tool for addressing some of the world's biggest challenges.
Absolutely. And another area where it's making a real difference is disaster relief. Imagine being able to predict the path of a hurricane or the impact of an earthquake with more accuracy.
That would be incredible. I mean, it could save so many lives and resources.
Exactly. John highlights how PA can help emergency responders plan evacuation routes, allocate resources more effectively, and even assess the damage caused by natural disasters.
Oh, wow. It's amazing to see how this technology is being used for good.
hmm
But I have to ask, with all this talk about complex data and algorithms, does someone need to be a tech expert to use predictive analytics?
Not at all. That's the beauty of it. While there are certainly complex aspects to PA, there are also user-friendly tools and resources available that make it accessible to anyone.
So even a non-techie like me could use PA to make better decisions.
Absolutely. There are online courses, tutorials, and even software programs that kind of guide you through the process, making it easier to analyze data and make predictions.
That's great to hear. It sounds like PA is becoming more democratized and accessible to everyone.
Exactly. Whether you're a business owner, a student, or just someone who's curious about the future, there are ways to tap into the power of predictive analytics.
This is all incredibly fascinating,
Yeah.
but I think we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
Yes, we've explored some really inspiring examples of how predictive analytics is being used across various industries and to address some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Okay, so welcome back to AI Explained. We've been on quite a journey with predictive analytics exploring its potential to transform everything from healthcare to climate change.
It's truly remarkable how this technology is being used to improve lives and solve complex problems. But beyond these large-scale applications, I think it's important to highlight how PA is also impacting our everyday experiences.
Okay, so bring it down to earth for us. How is PA showing up in our daily lives?
Okay, so think about those personalized recommendations you get on platforms like Spotify or Netflix.
Uh-huh.
That's PA at work. Analyzing your viewing and listening history to predict what you might enjoy.
You mean like how Netflix suggests movies I might like based on what I've watched before? It's surprisingly accurate.
Exactly. And not just movies, it's also those curated playlists on Spotify that seem to know your music taste better than you do.
It's a little bit creepy how well these algorithms seem to know us, but I have to admit it's also pretty convenient.
It is, and it goes beyond entertainment.
Uh,
Think about how online retailers like Amazon use PA to suggest products you might be interested in.
oh yeah, those customers also plot recommendations.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like they're reading my mind.
That's the power of predictive analytics. It's all about anticipating our needs and creating personalized experiences that are tailored to our individual preferences.
It's pretty amazing how this technology is being woven into so many aspects of our lives, often without us even realizing it.
It is. And the more data we generate through our online activities, the more these algorithms learn about us and the more accurate their predictions become.
It's a little bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? The convenience is great, but it also raises some questions about privacy and data security.
You're absolutely right. As KA becomes more integrated into our lives, it's crucial to have conversations about responsible data collection and usage, ensuring transparency and user control.
Definitely. It's important to be aware of how our data is being used and to make informed choices about what we share.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit, I'd love to talk about the future of PA. Where do you see this technology heading in the next few years?
That's a great question. I'm no fortune teller, but based on what we've learned, it seems like PA is going to become even more integrated into our lives.
I agree. John highlighted a few key trends to watch out for. One is the increasing integration of PA with other technologies like the Internet of Things.
You mean all those smart devices we have in our homes, like smart speakers and thermostats?
Exactly. As these devices become more interconnected and generate even more data, PA will play an even bigger role in automating tasks, optimizing energy consumption, and creating seamless and personalized experiences.
So our homes are going to become even smarter, anticipating our needs and making life easier.
Exactly. Imagine a world where your refrigerator orders groceries for you before you run out your car books, your appointments based on your schedule, and your home adjusts the lighting and temperature to your preferences.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's becoming more and more realistic every day.
Right.
What other trends should we be paying attention to?
John also talked about the development of even more advanced PA techniques like deep learning and reinforcement learning. These advancements will allow us to tackle even more complex problems and make even more accurate predictions.
So PA is going to get a major upgrade.
Exactly. Think about applying these advanced techniques to areas like healthcare or climate change. We could potentially see breakthroughs in personalized medicine, more accurate climate models, and even new solutions to global challenges.
It sounds like PA is going to be a major force for innovation and problem solving in the years to come.
I believe so. And the most exciting part is that we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I'm definitely feeling inspired and a little bit overwhelmed by all the possibilities. Before we wrap things up, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Don't be afraid to embrace the power of data. Predictive analytics might seem complex, but there are resources available to help you learn and even apply it to your own life. Whether you're a business owner, a student, or just someone who's curious about the future, PA has something to offer everyone.
That's a great message. And on that note, it's time to wrap up this episode of AI Explained. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of predictive analytics.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
And remember, the future is not something to be feared, but something to be shaped. So go out there, explore the power of data, and make your own predictions.
Until next time, Keep those data neurons firing.
And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more insightful explorations into the world of AI. We'll see you next time.